Good evening, Zimbabwe, and welcome once again to your trusted political and current affairs update, where we break down the biggest stories shaping the nation right now in a simple, clear, and professional way everybody can understand. Tonight, the political atmosphere in Zimbabwe is becoming more intense, more sensitive, and more talked about than it has been in recent months, after reports and discussions surrounding military salaries, government decisions, and growing political pressure began circulating widely across the country. And many people are now asking one major question. Why is the government suddenly moving quickly to improve conditions for soldiers at this very sensitive moment in Zimbabwean politics? Ladies and gentlemen, this story is getting bigger every single day because whenever there is unusual movement involving the military, political observers immediately begin paying close attention. Zimbabwe has a long political history where the military has always played an important role in national stability, leadership transitions, and government influence. So naturally, once reports started emerging that President Emerson Mnangagwa had approved salary improvements and benefits for soldiers, social media platforms exploded with reactions. Political analysts began discussing the timing, and ordinary citizens started connecting different events happening inside the country. Some people believe this is simply government responding to economic hardship affecting soldiers and security personnel. Others believe there is something much deeper happening behind the scenes. And today we are going to break down the entire situation carefully in a way that everybody can understand because there are many layers to this story. As we all know, Zimbabwe has been facing economic challenges for a long time now. The cost of living has continued rising, prices of basic goods continue changing, fuel prices have affected transport. Many workers have repeatedly raised concerns about salaries and working conditions. Teachers have complained, nurses have complained, civil servants in different departments have complained. Young people continue struggling to find opportunities. Families are trying hard every day just to survive in a difficult economic environment. Now, in the middle of all these national economic pressures, discussions suddenly emerge about military salary adjustments and benefits. And immediately people begin asking questions. Why now? Why the urgency? Why is government moving fast on this issue while many other sectors are still waiting for solutions? And this is where the political debate begins. Some Zimbabweans believe government wants to ensure the military remains comfortable and fully supportive during a politically sensitive period. Others say the military deserves support because soldiers also face the same economic challenges affecting ordinary citizens. But regardless of which side people support, one thing is clear: this development has captured national attention. Now, let us go deeper into the political atmosphere surrounding this story because that is where things become even more interesting. Zimbabwean politics has always been complex. Power structures inside the country are deeply connected to liberation history, party politics, military influence, and national security institutions. Since the events of 2017, which changed the political direction of the country, many Zimbabweans have remained highly alert whenever military-related issues become major headlines. People still remember how quickly things changed during that period. One week everything looked normal, and the next week the entire political direction of the country had shifted. Since then, citizens have learned that whenever political temperatures rise and military discussions increase, important developments can follow. Now, in recent months, discussions about succession politics inside the ruling party have also become louder. Many political commentators have been discussing possible future leadership battles, internal disagreements, and strategic positioning among powerful figures inside ZANU-PF. Supporters of different political camps have been debating online almost every day about who holds influence, who controls structures, and what the future of Zimbabwean leadership may look like after Mnangagwa. This is why the latest salary discussions are now being viewed through a political lens. Some analysts believe government wants stability and loyalty within the security sector, while political tensions continue rising quietly behind closed doors. Others believe the move is simply part of economic adjustments and should not be politicized. But because Zimbabwean politics is extremely sensitive, every major government action immediately creates speculation. And ladies and gentlemen, social media has made everything even more intense. Today, one rumor can spread across the country within minutes. One political statement becomes national debate. One government decision immediately creates hundreds of interpretations online. Every citizen now has access to political discussions through Facebook, YouTube, WhatsApp groups, TikTok, and X platforms where different opinions spread rapidly every hour. Right now, there are people saying the government is trying to avoid instability at all costs. There are others saying this is a normal decision because soldiers also need better living conditions. Then there are those who believe this is connected to deeper political concerns happening behind the scenes. And honestly speaking, this is why Zimbabwe remains one of the most politically watched countries in Africa, because every movement inside government structures creates national discussion. Now, another issue making citizens talk is the condition of ordinary Zimbabweans compared to the attention currently being given to security institutions. Many citizens are saying if soldiers are receiving salary improvements, then teachers also deserve better salaries. Nurses deserve better salaries. Doctors deserve support. Civil servants deserve relief. University lecturers deserve support. Pensioners deserve support. Many people are now openly saying the economic burden is affecting everyone, not only soldiers. And this has created emotional reactions from citizens who feel government priorities should focus equally on all workers. At the same time, supporters of government say national security institutions are important for maintaining peace and protecting stability, especially during difficult economic periods. They argue that keeping soldiers motivated is important for the country. So the debate continues growing. But one thing nobody can deny is that Zimbabwe is currently under political pressure from many different directions. The economy remains a major concern. Youth unemployment remains a concern. Public confidence remains fragile. Political competition continues quietly, and citizens continue demanding better living conditions. All these factors combined create a sensitive atmosphere where every political move becomes highly analyzed. Now, another important thing we must discuss is the relationship between economic hardship and political stability. Across the world, whenever economies become difficult, governments usually focus strongly on maintaining stability. This happens in many countries, not only Zimbabwe. Leaders understand that when citizens become frustrated economically, political tensions can increase very quickly. That is why governments often strengthen relationships with security institutions during uncertain times. This is why many observers are connecting the latest military salary discussions to broader concerns about national stability. And ladies and gentlemen, ordinary citizens are paying close attention because they understand how important political stability is for economic recovery. Investors also watch these developments carefully. Businesses pay attention to political signals. International observers monitor government actions. Markets react to uncertainty. So government knows very well that maintaining calm and stability is extremely important. But another major question now being asked is whether salary increases alone can solve deeper economic challenges affecting soldiers and citizens, because many people are saying inflation continues reducing the value of salaries very quickly. A salary adjustment today may still struggle against rising prices tomorrow. Transport costs continue increasing. Food prices remain difficult for many families. Rent continues rising in some areas. School fees continue affecting parents. So while salary adjustments may provide temporary relief, many Zimbabweans believe broader economic solutions are still needed. And this is why public conversations continue growing louder every day. Some people are even comparing the current atmosphere to previous political periods where tensions quietly built up before major developments eventually happened. Others believe the situation is being exaggerated online and that Zimbabwe remains stable under current leadership. But the truth is, nobody can ignore the fact that political temperatures are rising again inside the country. Even inside the ruling party, discussions about future leadership continue creating speculation. Who holds influence? Who controls structures? Who commands loyalty? Who becomes powerful in the future? These are the kinds of conversations now dominating political discussions across Zimbabwe. And because of that, every government decision becomes politically interpreted. Now, another thing making this story more interesting is the growing influence of younger Zimbabweans in political discussions. Today's youth are highly active online. They quickly analyze political developments. They discuss leadership issues openly. They compare situations with other African countries. They express frustration about economic challenges. They want opportunities, jobs, and a stable future. Many young people today are less interested in political slogans and more interested in practical economic improvement. They want businesses to grow. They want stable electricity. They want better roads. They want affordable education. They want technology opportunities. They want investment in the economy. And because of social media, their voices are becoming louder than ever before. Now, while all this is happening, opposition supporters are also watching government movements carefully. Every development becomes part of national political debate. Every government announcement creates reactions from different political sides. And because Zimbabwe is approaching another important period in its political future, tensions are naturally becoming more visible. At the same time, many ordinary citizens are simply tired of political conflict. They want peace. They want unity. They want leaders to focus on economic recovery rather than political competition. Some families are struggling daily to survive. Businesses are trying to stay operational. Young graduates are searching for opportunities. Informal traders are trying to feed their families. So many citizens now say the country needs practical solutions more than political battles. But politics continues dominating the national atmosphere. And ladies and gentlemen, another thing making this situation more sensitive is the history of liberation struggle politics inside Zimbabwe. Liberation war credentials still carry major influence within national leadership structures. Many powerful figures inside the country have military or liberation backgrounds. Because of this history, the military institution remains deeply respected and politically significant. That is why any story connected to soldiers or military structures immediately attracts nationwide attention. Now, let us also talk about how international observers may be viewing all these developments. Across Southern Africa and beyond, analysts are monitoring Zimbabwe carefully because the country remains strategically important in the region. Any sign of political instability attracts international interest. Investors want stability before committing resources. Neighboring countries want peace and calm within the region. Diplomats watch political signals carefully. This means government understands the importance of maintaining control over national narratives and avoiding unnecessary instability. At the same time, citizens continue demanding transparency and accountability regarding government decisions. And this is where public trust becomes very important. When citizens trust leadership, political tension usually reduces. But when citizens begin questioning government intentions, speculation increases rapidly. Right now, speculation is everywhere. Some believe government fears internal disagreements. Some believe powerful political figures are quietly positioning themselves for the future. Some believe there is no crisis at all and that social media is simply exaggerating the situation. Others believe major political changes may eventually happen again in the future. And honestly speaking, Zimbabwean politics has always been unpredictable. Things can remain calm publicly, while serious negotiations happen quietly behind the scenes. Alliances can change unexpectedly. Political strategies can shift very quickly. Public statements may not always reveal the full picture. That is why experienced political observers never ignore unusual developments involving the military or security institutions. Now, another angle people are discussing is whether salary improvements for soldiers could eventually trigger pressure from other workers demanding equal treatment. Because once one sector receives attention, other workers may also intensify demands for better salaries and conditions. Teachers may demand the same. Health workers may demand the same. Civil servants may demand the same. And the government may soon face increasing pressure from multiple directions at once. This is why the coming months could become very important politically and economically for Zimbabwe. Another thing we must understand is that governments everywhere usually prioritize avoiding uncertainty because uncertainty affects economic confidence. Businesses do not like unstable environments. Investors become nervous during political tension. Citizens reduce spending when they fear instability. Foreign partnerships become more complicated. So from government's perspective, maintaining order and stability becomes extremely important. And ladies and gentlemen, this may explain why authorities appear focused on strengthening relationships with key national institutions. But the ordinary citizen watching all this unfold still wants answers to basic daily struggles. People want affordable food. People want stable income. People want employment opportunities. People want functioning healthcare systems. People want better infrastructure. People want lower transport costs. People want hope for the future. These are the issues dominating conversations in homes, buses, markets, workplaces, and online platforms every day. Now, politically speaking, Zimbabwe is entering another sensitive chapter where public expectations continue growing while economic pressure remains high. Leaders are under pressure to deliver results. Citizens are becoming more vocal. Social media continues amplifying every issue. Political competition remains active beneath the surface. And because of all these factors combined, even a story about military salaries becomes national breaking news. Now some citizens are asking whether this development suggests government is worried about loyalty within powerful institutions. Others completely reject that idea and insist the government is simply addressing economic realities facing soldiers. But what cannot be denied is that the timing has created major political conversation. And timing in politics is always important. Very important. Because political decisions are rarely viewed in isolation. Citizens always connect events together. They analyze patterns. They compare situations with history. They watch body language from leaders. They study political statements carefully. That is exactly what is happening right now in Zimbabwe. Every move is being analyzed. Every announcement is being discussed. Every rumor is spreading quickly. And the political atmosphere continues becoming more intense. Now, one important thing citizens should remember is the importance of staying calm and avoiding misinformation. Social media can sometimes exaggerate situations beyond reality. Not every rumor becomes truth. Not every political discussion represents official government positions. That is why people should always focus on verified information and responsible analysis. At the same time, government communication also matters because silence during sensitive moments can increase speculation. Citizens naturally seek explanations when unusual developments occur. Now, as Zimbabwe moves forward, the biggest challenge for leadership will likely be balancing political stability with economic recovery. Citizens want calm, but they also want progress. They want peace, but they also want opportunities. They want leadership that can improve daily life practically. And ladies and gentlemen, this is where the future direction of Zimbabwe becomes extremely important. Can the economy recover strongly? Can investor confidence improve? Can employment opportunities increase? Can public trust grow again? Can political tensions reduce? These are the major questions many citizens continue asking. Right now, the military salary discussions may appear like one simple story on the surface, but underneath it reflects much deeper national concerns about leadership, stability, economics, and the future political direction of Zimbabwe. And honestly speaking, many people across the country are now watching closely to see what happens next. Will there be more government measures announced soon? Will economic conditions improve? Will political tensions increase or calm down? Will different factions inside politics continue competing quietly? All these questions remain open. But one thing is certain, Zimbabwe remains one of the most closely watched political environments in Africa because the country's politics, history, liberation, legacy, and economic challenges are all deeply connected. Every move matters. Every decision creates discussion. Every political signal gets analyzed. And right now, this issue involving military salary increases has become one of the hottest conversations across Zimbabwean political spaces. So, ladies and gentlemen, as always, continue staying informed, continue following developments carefully, and continue engaging responsibly in national discussions because the coming months may become very important for Zimbabwe's political and economic future. If you enjoyed this detailed real-time breakdown and political gist, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest Zimbabwe updates, political discussions, and breaking national stories explained in clear and professional English. Thank you for watching. Stay informed, stay safe, and we will continue bringing you the latest updates as the story develops further.